Hello friends, welcome to my channel. So it is September birth month mani time, and I'm going to be doing it different. I'm going to be working with your birth month flowers. So I'll first show you the base color. So for all of them, I've done Paparazzi Simply Lovely. It is a bit of an off-white with a bit of a lavender tone. And then on these three, I went with LA Colors in Aqua Crystals because your birthstone is a sapphire, and so I wanted to pull that in a bit. So I have many things to read for you, so we'll start with the birth month flowers. So the September birth flowers are the aster and the morning glory. Asters are starry, daisy-like flowers known for their vibrant colors and association with wisdom, love, and faith. Morning glories are climbing trumpet-shaped flowers that bloom in the early morning, symbolizing renewal, affection, and a bright, optimistic spirit. So, pulled them up. I'm going to kind of work somewhat with these two color tones, I think. So one's going to be not an exact match, but close because of the color I've chose to use. So I'm going to start with my nail plate on 4 and 2, and I'm going to get this image here first. And I'm going to try to use Maniology's Acorn B498 just for the little swirly sections. And then for the other section, so I'm going to make this one kind of be like for the aster birth flower. So for the flower portion, I'm going to pull in Maniology Sweetberry B310. I thought that would be a good color match. So I'm going to do the flower portion. No, let me do the swirlies first. I can work with that. I'm just going to take off the extra pieces. And this one I'm actually going to go ahead and place down. And then I'm going to go up to this next one to be for the morning glories. And I'm going to pick the whole thing up with Acorn because I can reverse stamp this one. The other one, the flowers were solid. I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. I'm gonna jump over to this plate. And this was, I believe, China Glaze Plate 04. This didn't work when I first got it. And I'll tell you what I have just found out. If I use my Maniology stamping polish, I got one to pick up. I was just testing it and it did pick up. So I'm gonna see if I can get this to work or not. And I'm gonna go to this one first for the Aster color. Um, which is the one I used a while ago. I'm not going to place it down yet because I want to color in the little middle section in yellow. Actually, what I could do is do that after it's been placed because it's just the little dots anyway. So let's see if it'll pick up this time. Now I could turn the plate to pick it up, but I did not. That's okay. Oh, it did. It picked up. Yay. Let me get this extra piece off and I'm going to go ahead and place it down. It's going to go on this nail. I think the other thing too is using a Maniology stamper because it came with its own stamper that was no good, and its scraper card was no good, and yeah, I didn't have a Maniology polish at that time. Actually, this plate is what even got me into Maniology because I was like, this don't work, and I was gonna try the Maniology products as kind of a last resort because I didn't want to go down a rabbit hole spending all this money, and this worked. or this one didn't work, and so I went to the Maniology stuff. So with the Maniology products, it actually made this plate work, and I'm very surprised. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm jumping to the one right beside it actually for the morning glory flowers. I'm going to try to pick up with Acorn, except in the very middle because those do have yellow. I'm going to pull in Yuletide Yellow B533 and see if I can't get that to pick up both colors. So let me do the yellow bits first. It's a bit difficult to work around, but I'm gonna try. This one's a bit, I can tell, a bit more etched, so I might have needed more polish, but we'll see. Okay, I think that'd be fine actually. And then we'll reverse stamp it in a minute. Okay, let me read this to you real quick and let me know if it's true in the comments. September-born people are often described as intelligent, hardworking, organized, and detail-oriented due to their Virgo and Libra zodiac signs. They are known for their strong sense of responsibility, analytical skills, and ability to maintain harmony in their relationships, though they can sometimes be overly critical or worry too much. And by the way, that's all just in fun. I just like to read little things for your birth month manis. Okay, now I'm going to go to Maniology plate BM-XL 352, I believe. This was one of my first Maniology plates. So I'm going to go to this image here for the aster flower, and I'm going to attempt to do the same thing I did before with using the yellow and acorn, and we'll reverse stamp this one. Also, look, I was able to get the blingies off my nails just fine. I just used regular nail polish remover and it came right off. Okay, try to work around it. Okay, that will be just fine. Okay, and the next one I'm going to do is Maniology plate M094, and I'm just going to use the top portion of this flower, and I'm going to still do the yellow in the middle and acorn on the outside. And the reason I'm doing the yellow for the morning glory is because of this, like, they do have that little bit of yellow in there. My mother-in-law likes morning glories, and she has some planted at her house. Oh, I didn't have my other one open. So my understanding is they do open and close. And I'm not worried about the leaves for it. I really just want the flower portion, but I can take off whatever. And I've got that taken off. So it'll be like that. Because I just want, like this one, to be just the flower part. Okay, and last flowers I'm going to pick up are right here for your September. I'm going to go, so this is MXM 118. This plate was gifted to me from one of you nail friends. I'm going to get the last two. And because that middle's so small, I'm just going to pick up an acorn and I can always place some yellow over it and then reverse stamp the rest of it. Oh, once again, didn't have my stamper ready. I'm multitasking. I am also trying to get dinner done, and my brain is a bit frazzled. So I'm just going to take off that little extra doodad down there. Okay, so I ended up repicking it up because this flower over here was missing its top portion. I'm just gonna say us ladies are pretty cool for being able to multitask the way we do because I don't know about you, but some people, like the husbands, when they be trying to multitask, they forget and then something gets left on or forgotten about. So us ladies got to be on top of it. Okay, let's go into reading your key personality traits. Okay, intelligent into okay, wow, analytical, pardon me. September babies are often described as smart, curious, and motivated by a love of learning. Their analytical nature helps them excel in detailed projects and gather information effectively. Hardworking and organized. They possess a strong work ethic and a drive for excellence, making them highly dependable and goal-oriented individuals who take their commitment seriously. Detail-oriented. With a keen eye for detail, they often strive for perfection in their work, a trait associated with their Virgo sign. And there's two more. Diplomatic and charming. Influenced by the Libra sign, they are known for their charming personalities and ability to maintain balanced and harmonious relationships. Empathetic and caring. I love that. They are compassionate listeners who provide emotional support to others and are attentive and thoughtful in their relationships. That's a good one. Okay, so for these flowers, I'm going to go ahead and use Yuletide yellow to color in the middles, like to match the others. And typically, I do use my, that's not going to be enough. Use my just regular polishes for reverse stamping, but right now I'm just going to go ahead and use this. And I am using a bit of a smaller brush right this second just for this because these are so super tiny. So those will need a minute before I move on. Okay. One thing is in there just a beeping at me. I said, okay, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. No, beep, 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 beep. Ugh, so annoying. Okay. For the Morning Glory, I've decided to go to Maniology's Bluebell B509. It's a bit of a lavender as well, but it's kind of got a pinch of a blue tone. So I thought that would be a good match. I'm going to go ahead again, like I said, and just use these stamping polishes instead of my regular polishes for today. Because I know, like I have a color regular polish similar to this one that I could use, but I don't see one close to this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and use these. So I'm going to go ahead and go through to do the ones I'm doing with this color. And I did let the middle dry. That way I wouldn't smear that color. Let me, okay, so this one is for that same color tone. And this one will be that color tone. I think now normally I work stamp like on one stamp at a time, but since I still got polish on here, and I definitely don't want to waste some stamping polish because y'all know that costs just a bit more than Dollar Tree polishes. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I hope you're all doing well and safe and healthy and happy. Well, as happy as you can be. Okay, there's a one. Actually, this one was also done. So there's that one. And I'm going to go ahead and jump to this one as well because it's going to be the same. But I'm going to go ahead and pull in a bigger brush because it is a larger area. And I'll start with you and then I can finish off camera. You know what? Because there's no spacing in the middle of those, just gonna take my brush and plop it on. A little more. Should be a bit faster than using my brush. Well, if it'll behave, because I like to see what it's doing. So I need to get a thicker amount. I'm trying to be not use so much my polish, but I'm gonna have to, and that's okay. Okay. Oh, it's smeared. That's interesting because I use my stamping polish. Mm-hmm. So that one is gonna have to be a redo. Yeah, it's pretty interesting because it should have had time to dry. So this time I just picked it up in Acorn. I'm just gonna color in where the yellow goes. But I know this one's not dry, so we're gonna go back to these. And those are for the aster flower, so we're going back to this color. Yeah, I don't really know what to think about that. And as you can see, these do have a tone difference. One does lean more blue and one leans more kind of somewhat pink toned purple. Blue tone purple and pink tone purple. This one's yellow is missing a little spot, so I'm going to also touch that up here in a minute. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit more. Oh, here I thought it was in frame and it wasn't. I do apologize. What are you friends having for dinner? Whatever I mean, you may have already had dinner. What did you have if you already had it? I am making my favorite tacos. I love crispy tacos. Speaking of which, I had to go check on them. I could eat me some tacos almost every day. And chips and salsa. Okay, touching up that yellow. And the dark spot on it was part of the image itself. And jump to this one. Hopefully not make anything smear. Do the yellow on it. So I'll do this one off camera since you already saw the other portion and bear it back. I also love refried beans and Spanish rice. I just had to let you know that. I thought that was an important part. Okay, so I'm going back to Bluebell. This time, I suppose I am just going to river stamp it instead of trying to put the brush on there. So I don't want that to happen again. I'll start it with you and finish off camera. And this, of course, is going to make it take longer, but it's not worth it smearing again. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it has anything to do with the image, but you wouldn't think so. I don't know. It's weird. All right, so I'm going to finish and be back. Okay, and I'm going to tell you what I decided to do here. So because this one has the spacing and this one didn't, I've created the spacing so that they can be a bit of a better match once they're placed down. Okay, and I actually had added a little bit more, so that's drying. So in the meantime, I'm going to go put the yellow in the middle of these. Okay, I'll finish and be right back. Okay, and let's read this last thing. So, potential challenges, overcritical. Their focus on detail and desire for perfection can sometimes lead them to be overly critical of themselves and others, worrying. That's me, guys. Their discerning nature and deep thinking can sometimes result in excessive worrying or getting too caught up in their thoughts. Okay, so we're going to place this image on this one because I wanted both flowers. Oh, okay. That means I don't have enough sticky layer there. So I'm just going to place them over it. It'll help it to stick down. Okay, I'm hoping I can get these on because I had to go check the dinner. Put this one down here. And this one, because it does have that dark spot, I am going to go ahead and touch that up with some more yellow, and I'll be right back. Okay, and I decided to go ahead and cover the dark spot on the other one, even though it was part of the image. Okay, and this one is going to get these two, but don't worry, we're going to get it filled in a minute. I'm going to get this one on here. Okay, that one's not ready to apply yet. Okay. So I'm gonna give that a minute to sit, and then I'm gonna get those pieces off and be back. Okay, so I'm going back to this plate. We're gonna get some of these little added pieces over here to add to make this a bouquet. I think for this part, I'm gonna go ahead with Acorn, since we have Acorn on the other images. So I'm just gonna get kind of basically pieces that are like solid. And we'll just place them on. Extra pieces off. And get the one beside it. Also, if you press down, you can stretch an image if you ever need to do so. Let's get one more. Get this one here. And there was a piece on my stamper. I didn't even see it. So I'll have to get that off. Okay, actually, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this image. I want to fill in part of this empty spacing. Okay, I'm gonna get extras. So actually you need to take off a pinch of that stem so I can place it in here, like so. I'm gonna do that one more time right here and be back. Okay, so what I want to do is I wanted to add a bow. These are not, I don't think, gonna fit across. It's too much. So I'm going to, I pulled out Maniology's bow plate M453 because I can definitely make these work. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to go with this one here. And I'm going to pick it up in Yuletide yellow. That way we keep the yellow color going throughout too. And since this is solid, it'll it'll fix that for us instead of coloring it in. So when I get it picked up, get extras off, trying to, let's see how much, I do need to take off a pinch from each side. And hopefully I don't take off too much. I think we could make that work. So the center of the bow could use a bit more opaqueness. So I'm just going to get my brush here and tend to that. Because it's hard for it to cover that dark tone behind it. So I'm just going to help it a little bit. Helps because there's already a line made for me. Okay. Right. September birth month mini with your birth month flowers, aster, and morning glory. So I wanted this one to look a bit fancy, and I also wanted to include both flowers to complete the theme. These two, I wanted one of each, so I have this one to present the aster and this one for the morning glory. And I am glad I went ahead and spaced it just because this one has the spaces. I feel like it kind of helps it to fit better because when it was the solid, it just was going to be one whole colored in space. Same with this one. I have one of each flower and I put in the extras to fill it in. And I wanted to add the bow and keep and make it be yellow to fit with the yellow amongst the rest of everything. Um, kind of iffy on the bow now just because the way the bouquet kind of sits. Probably should have left it off, but that just gives an option. And then one of each flower on this side, and I did touch them up for the yellow portions. And then again on these three, I did the blue glitter for like your birthstone, the sapphire, so that you still have some extra birth month images or, uh, things to go with it. Now, I didn't put that on these two. I could have. Maybe I should have. But I didn't because I kind of wanted them to have their own, be more about the flower, but that's okay. So, September babies, I hope you did have or do have a wonderful birthday and do all the things that you want to do and eat all the yummy goodies that you want to eat and have a wonderful day. I do greatly appreciate you watching. I will list the Maniology products in the description box. And until the next one, I wish you peace, love, happiness, blessings, and safety, my friends. Bye.